Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and I am happy to be here as your meditation guide tonight. Today, we are going to be doing philosophy and meditation because I love philosophy and I love meditation, and I love teaching philosophy and I love teaching meditation. So, it's good to see everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Hey, Imbalanced Physique is now hosting, man. Thank you so much, brother. How are you doing tonight, man? How's life with you? How's life up in NorCal, man? What's going on in your world? Thank you so much for the host. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a day filled with love and light. Anyone who has not checked out Imbalanced Physique, definitely check him out. The dude is a top-notch fitness and health streamer, and he also discusses important topics such as mental health and emotional well-being and things of those nature. Right? He's a very authentic person, and you're going to get it straight from him. He's not gonna beat around the bush. He's going to tell you what he feels, and he'll explore sensitive topics. He doesn't care. He doesn't mind exploring things that other people are afraid to talk about. So definitely check him out. Drop him a follow. And look who else is here, Mobius, man. Mobius, I was checking out your stream earlier. How is life with you? How's everything going in your neck of the woods, man? Up in Canada, you and Allie are rocking it. You guys are trying to become the number one Twitch partner duo in the world. I think you're well on your way. I think you're well on your way to doing it. Cold and rainy. Yeah, I don't think it's cold and rainy. Well, it's not here at least. It was hot and sticky here. I went for a run today. I did a 5K today, and it was pretty hot and sticky, But I got a good tan though. So what can I say? I can't complain. Cold and rainy up there though, man. Well, it happens. You look where you live. You live in a place where it's cold a lot, right? Canada, But at the same time, you also live in a place that's incredibly beautiful, and I don't mind the cold personally. I go out in the cold and just without a shirt, I don't care, whatever. But yeah, it's good to see everyone. It's good to see everyone. I hope everyone is really feeling abundance and love and life and light in their life today. I actually just got done doing a Grace Yoga meditation, and it was incredible. She does these this yoga nidra meditations, and then she also does opposite nostril breath work, which is always a pleasure. It's so good to actually hop in on one of those streams and get that in. You can feel everything clearing up, like in your sinuses, all the way up to getting more oxygen to your brain. It's just a great practice. I recommend Grace Yoga to everyone. But yeah, and Mobius, I forgot to give you your shout out, I guess, or what's up? It's so funny how it's malfunctioning. It went shout out, but it actually didn't come through for some reason. Let's see if I can get it this time. Let's see if it actually works this time. There we go. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this world. We live in a world where the commands are just not going to work sometimes, and then sometimes they are. I just I don't get it. I don't get life sometimes, but such is life. That's just how it is, Yeah. So today I woke up and I was just feeling a lot better. I was feeling really bummed out the last few days because I visited a friend who had brain cancer, and they literally had to go in and remove this tumor from her head, and now she's going to be paralyzed on the left side of her body the rest of her life, and it was a mess, and it was really distressing, and I can't imagine what she was going through, right? Yeah, I did the stream last night, and it's funny how doing that stream changed my mood. Whether it was the meditation or the energy from chat, there were such good people out there, and in the chat we had such great discussions. Mobius, Allie, and I were discussing all sorts of things. Who else? JT Farms, you were in there. You were discussing stuff. We had a lot of good people, in there, and we explored a lot of interesting topics, right? Because that's what we got to do. There's a lot of people that are afraid to talk about sensitive issues, right? But we shouldn't be afraid. We need to talk about whatever is most foundational to us, whatever is most important to us. The quote, I say it all the time because I came up with this quote 7 years ago, and I think it holds true. People talk about everything except what's closest to their hearts. I think that is so crucial, and I think that is so it's a salient fact, right? As far as communication goes, people will discuss, will sit there and gossip all day, but they're not gonna talk about what's close to their hearts, and we need to do that. We need to be more open about what's going on with ourselves and what's going on with our lives. And it's just how it is. It's just how it is. But for some reason, it doesn't work out that way sometimes. Let's see. Okay, my automatic shout outs are apparently just not going to work today. I mean, it automatically, did the shout out, but the command didn't catch for some reason. So let's try to do it manually. That's the way it's going to have to be. It's just one of those days. Twitch's glitch. We got what that was sunrise. Yeah. We got tons of glitches here on Twitch. Welcome to the world of glitch. Yeah, definitely check out. First of all, I didn't finish giving my shout out to Mobius. Definitely check out Mobius's stream. He's a totally awesome Canadian streamer. I don't know why I felt like I had to throw that in, that you're from Canada. I feel like it's like necessary for some reason when someone's from Canada. It's like if someone's from like I don't know, Jamaica. I don't feel like it's as necessary, but like for some reason Canadians, I want to like say they're Canadian. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But yeah, he's a great fitness and health streamer. He's with Ali Smiles. Definitely check him out. And Sunrise Reads is incredible. She does these amazing streams of all different types of variety. She does like beach streams. I got to check out earlier. I got to check out a book stream that she did, a Pedagogy of the Oppressed. I got to check out her cooking streams. She's just a phenomenal, positive influence on Twitch, and that's what you want to be around. At the end of the day, do you want to be around miserable, unhappy people, or do you want to be around positive, loving, kind people? Because that shit spreads on you, right? If you walk up to someone and they're being happy and joyful and full of life and loving and smiling at you, right? It's like that's the kind of person that you want to be around, right? You don't want to be around someone who's sitting there like talking about how angry they are at existence and other people, and how they want to take down the world or whatever. Those kind of people, they drain on you, right? And it's just not good energy, right? And we got to take care of ourselves here. We got to take care of ourselves. All right. Yeah. Cheers to you too, Sunrise. Cheers to you. Cheers is not something I say very often, by the way. I don't say cheers very often to people. In fact, I can't recall the last time I used that greeting. But it's good. Cheers. I don't know why we don't use that more in the USA, or maybe it's just Chicago style. In Chicago, we don't use it as much. Cheers is Aussie. All right. Well, it's not just Aussie though, because I've heard you hear other people like in England. I hear people in England say it, at least in the movies. They like to say cheers. I don't know if that's how it's actually takes place, if that's actually the thing, but it could just be a movie thing, right? Cheers is super cheery. Cheers is super cheery, right? It even has the first few same letters, right? I mean that's how it goes, It was also that sitcom, of everyone getting drunk at the bar every day. That was a big show, like that was a little bit before my time, but it was like you still hear about that. You hear about Cheers, the place you go where everyone knows your name, right? It's just a bunch of alcoholics getting drunk, sitting around in a bar and talking about their problems, right? I mean, and it's kind of how it is sometimes. It's like sometimes in your life, you just you become an alcoholic and you just hang out at the bar and tell everyone your problems, and that everyone commiserates together, and that's just how it goes. And I mean, I'm saying that in as just an objective fact. I'm not giving an evaluation or judgment either way. I'm just saying that this is what happens. There's certain bars that are more like that too, right? Like more like the dive bar scene, right? Like there's like the sports bars that are like popping on the weekends and shit like that. Those bars are not as much of like just people sitting around talking about how depressed they are, or at least they typically aren't that way, right? They're usually more of like people are excited because there's a game going on and their team is playing. But then you get like the dive bars that have been run by like the same owner for like the last like 70 years. He's like 95, he can barely move, but he's still behind the bar. And you get the same group of people that have just been sitting at that bar, probably the same seats even a lot of times, and they've been sitting there for like I don't know, years practically, just talking about their issues, and maybe it's cathartic, maybe it can be helpful. Where are you at here? Sunrise, you're saying you're going to be a good mod today, you promise. Awesome, awesome. Well, I can use a good mod. Yeah, I can always use a good mod because that's an important role, you know. And I don't think people who are streamers really understand how important it is to have good mods in your chat. You know, you never know what's going to happen, right? Weird stuff can happen in chat. You know, I mean, not just trolls, right? But just to regulate the flow of things and the facilitation of things, right? You know, you need a good mod or in good mods to basically do that, right? Um, what a hobby, yeah. Warning: do not do this at home. So close to my sub goal. I know. It's moving forward, and you know what? I'm really close to my follow goal too. Hey, look who's here! Evelyn Yoga is here. How are you, Evelyn? So good to see you. So good to see you. And you know what? My shout out worked for you. I don't know what's going on. My automatic shout outs have been very sketchy today at best. Oh, you know what? Maybe it must be because Sunrise did it too. Yeah. No, there's two there. Yeah, there's okay. We got shout outs coming out now. I don't know what's going on. Okay, the emote queen is here now too. Terror time. All right. Let's take this chronologically. All this disorder, I can't handle this. I need order in my life. I need structure. I need discipline. All right. First things first. I already gave my shout outs to Mobius and Sunrise Reads. I talked about the mod stuff. Now we're hopping into Evelyn Yoga. She's a phenomenal yoga streamer here on Twitch. Definitely check her out. Definitely drop her a follow. You will learn stuff. You'll learn. She also teaches like some Pilates type stuff. She teaches just good stretches in addition to the yoga. And she's another Aussie, right? Just like Sunrise. You know, they're both Aussies. They're good people. Evelyn's got some great streams. Definitely check out her yoga streams. You will not be disappointed. I have never been disappointed when I've checked out one of Evelyn's streams. And then Terror Time is here, the emote queen. She is no one can compete with her emote game. She is on point with her emote game. She basically practices like 8 hours a day, just like to see how quickly she can spam emotes and just to find the appropriate ones. And not only is she the emote queen, but she's also, you know, another wonderful human being, and she's just a kind, loving, super compassionate person. And she streams in the fitness and health community here on Twitch. She's a personal trainer, and she makes working out fun. I mean, you're going to be working out, and you're going to be laughing your ass off at the same time. You know, it's like you're trying to get that crunching or that extra stretch, and you're just going to be laughing and having such a good time. And it's so cool. It's so neat. It's so neat to check everyone out. And look who else is here. Fantasy. But remember, it's not pronounced fantasy, right? That's what Grace was saying. She was saying it's actually pronounced fantasy or something like that. I think it's actually pronounced fantasy or something else. It's not fantasy though. It's going to throw me off. I'm gonna have to learn the correct pronunciation. I just remember her saying that it was not the actual way that I thought it was. You're Izzy, Fantasy. Got it. Okay. You know what? Let me write myself a little note. Let me write myself a note. Izzy. All right. Beautiful. We got it. And Fantasy 84 is another fitness and health streamer here on Twitch. Totally awesome streamer. You will learn a lot from her streams. Definitely go check her out. Drop her a follow. Wow, we got a lot of streamers coming through here today. You know what? It seems like everyone's streaming these days. Hold on, let me give you a shout out. Fantasy. For some reason, my automatic shout outs are not working today. So it's like everything's got to go manual. We're doing it by the book. We're doing it old school style, you know. It's like the whole point of like me setting up auto shoutouts was to try to help regulate things and make things just go smoother. And now all of a sudden, like it's like, oh, Twitch is like, I don't want any automatic shoutouts to work today, you know. Chatbots all messed up or whatever, you know. Streamlabs chatbot. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll get it back. We'll get the auto shoutouts back here. Sunrise, you're saying me too. Can't wait to check out your stream. Yeah, definitely check out her stream. You guys have some Aussie love here. A lot of Aussie love on Twitch in the fitness and health community. And then who else? There's another streamer. It's Spochi, right? He's an Aussie, right? You guys are starting to build a crew of Australians who are streaming here on Twitch. It's pretty awesome. I love it. I love seeing that energy, you know, that communal energy. Well, I mean, I'm from Chicago, so it's me and Kittens Kung Fu. You know, we're the two Chi-Town streamers here in the fitness and health community on Twitch. But you know, yeah, there's a lot of streamers in NorCal, right? In Northern California, right? There's a lot of streamers. There's a couple streamers in Texas, right? Grace Yoga's from Texas. I think like Barcodius is too. And then you got the streamers from where is it? Kansas City, like Celsi and Nanera, right? We have such a wonderful, awesome community of streamers here, and they're from all over the world. Such great people. You know, don't forget Terra Time. Terra Time is our Argentinian streamer. You know, she's rocking, and Sunrise Reeds is currently chilling in Brazil, but who knows how long she's going to be here. Where are we at? Yeah, I will come to yours too. Hopefully, if our time zones align. And Sunrise, you said, yeah, the news does exaggerate and sensationalize, create media panic, etc. But you are keeping safe and enough sunshine. The community attracts good people, and Aussies are some of the best. Aussies are great people. Absolutely, yeah. You know, I've never met an Aussie I didn't like. But to be perfectly honest, I haven't met many Aussies in my life. In fact, like from Twitch, on Twitch, I've learned more about the Australian culture than I ever had before. It's crazy. It's just from talking with Aussies on Twitch. You know, I mean, you guys, you're basically like us. That's just the way I see it. Like America, like a USA, the USA Americans. But you have, I don't know, you're loving, and you have a little bit of an edge to you at times. You're gonna stick up for yourself if you're ever in a tough situation. And I like that. You need to be able to defend yourself every now and then, right? It's not warm, LO, but you live a good life even in lockdown, and you're good. Yeah, it's crazy, right? How weird is it that things are getting just locked down all over the place? You know, and have been in different countries at different times. I mean, you know, it's like you understand the reasoning behind it, right? You understand the premise, but it still is so weird to actually experience that. You know, to like be locked down. It's like, whoa, you know, this feels weird. This is different. This is not something I've experienced my whole life. You know. And so it's, you know, some people can get used to it pretty quick. Some people are like, oh, well, no big deal. I'm an introvert. I'm just going to sit home on my computer anyway all day, so it doesn't matter, you know, or I'm just going to sit and curl up and read a book, you know, and like my life is great, right? And then some people who are extroverts like me are like, holy fuck, you know, like I got to go out and see people, you know, and then it's like, when's the vaccine going to be out? And then I got the vaccine, you know, and then I had to wait around for that. And then, you know, now it's like, do you wear a mask or not wear a mask? You know, everyone's got their different opinions about that. I've been wearing it when I have to, and not when I don't. I don't know. Sometimes I wear it when I don't. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. I don't think, and that's part of the main thing with this whole thing. Like, there's a lot of confusion. No one really knows what's going on. It's like there's new variants of the virus out. The Delta variant. There's, you know, maybe this will go on forever. What if this perpetuates forever, right? I mean, we got crazy things to think about going on now. All right. Imbalanced, maybe you should stream meditation. Imbalanced, yeah, that would be something cool. That would be a cool way. I mean, but you know, you'd have to do the shirtless meditations, because every time I raid you, you got your shirt off. So, hey, JT Farms is here. I didn't even see you. Were you here this whole time, JT Farms? Were you here this whole time? You know, because you're sneaky. You've been really sneaky this day. JT Farms, she's my surreptitious channel shaman. All right, she regulates the energy. She always, you know, allows all the good energy to come into the world, right? To come into the stream, and then she just takes all that bad energy and sifts it out. But like she's been sneaky lately. I don't know what's going on with this stealthy nature. Like she like won't be here, and then she'll pop in, and she's got like a lot to say, and then she'll be gone. Like you're like throwing me off, JT. You're mixing up your routine. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. Oh, you're always here. You're always here. And Sunrise, you're giving shout outs to JT Farms now. Yeah, that's kind of funny. She is not a streamer. She is not a streamer here on Twitch, but she is apparently she's omnipresent. I didn't know that about her, but according to her self-proclaimed notion, she's always here. All right, well, I got to be on my best behavior. I have to be on my best behavior now. I didn't know that. I thought I could just like, you know, like I thought I was like Santa Claus, you know. It's like when he's not looking, you can do whatever you want, right? But when he's looking, you got to be careful, right? Or wait, or no, that's not the deal. Santa Claus is the deal is the opposite, right? He knows like what's going on, right? If you've been good or bad, even if he's not looking, right? I never even know and then there's different versions of Santa Claus, right? Like, do you have Santa Claus in Australia? Do you have Santa Claus in Argentina? Like, what's going on? Like, I know the Germans have a different version of Santa Claus. All right, Sunrise, you say yes. Was here all the time, I think. Oh, JT Farms was here all the time. Yeah, she's a sneaky one. Doing your shaman shit. You do that shaman shit, which is awesome, you know. And that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to do that. That's your role, you know. Um, you heard she will do poetry streams. Ooh, is this something that's actually going to be manifesting? JT Farms, is it time? Is it time that? Oh, no worries, Terra Time, no worries. Is it time for you to start streaming on your own, to start your poetry streams? You're just going to be doing nothing but poetry. You're gonna come out every day and you're gonna recite the new poem of the day that you wrote, and it's going to be incredible. I'm waiting for you to get on that. I'm waiting for you to be ready for that. You know, you're going to be the shaman who converts to poet. You know, well, I mean, I guess you could be both, and you kind of are both already, but yeah, just it's pretty interesting. So you're saying stay for the meditation, be stronger than the dark side, be the light. Sunrise, you're hypnotized. You're hypnotized by Agni. What do? I just come out here and I just talk. I just say whatever's going on in the world. You know, I just say whatever's on my mind. You know, I'm an honest, open person. And I think that's what some of the appeal is on this stream. I think that's why people like the stream the way they do, because it's like I'm not gonna come out here and first of all, I'm not gonna tell you what to think. I'm not gonna push ideas on you. I'm gonna express my metaphysics. I'm gonna express, you know, how I view the world, my perceptual framework about the world, right? But I would never push anything on anyone. And B, I'm going to be as open and genuine and honest with you as I possibly can. I'm not going to say the quote unquote right thing just because society accepts me or require, you know, thinks I should say it, just because I'll be committing some grand social faux pas if I have a different opinion, right? I'm going to say what I feel. And that's actually very interesting, because a lot of people are afraid to speak how they feel because they're afraid of what others think. And if you're afraid of what others think and it's controlling how you communicate, then guess what? You're a slave to that person. You're a slave to everyone in the world, and you're a slave to their judgments. And if you free yourself from that bondage, if you just break those chains and you say, you know what? I'm not concerned about the opinions of others. I'm concerned about expressing myself in an authentic, genuine fashion, and that is so foundational and more important to me than saying something that might be deemed a slightly abrasive. If you can do that, then you're going to free yourself, and you're going to come out stronger, and you're going to live a more authentic existence. Because if you're not expressing yourself to other people, you keep that shit bottled up inside, and then whatever it is that's in there that you want to express but you can't, whatever difference of opinion that you want to express to another, it's just going to eat you alive, right? But if you can actually emote, if you can allow that to come out and express that feeling, you're going to be in better shape. You know, you're going to feel better about your existence, about your life. You're going to feel happier, and you're going to have more joy and abundance and well-being in your life. All right, we're missing stuff. We're missing stuff all the time here. All right, what do we got going on here? Oh, hey, Relectus here. How is it going? Good to see ya. All right, nice. All right, and then what else did I miss here in chat? Got a lot of love between all the fellow chat members. Sunrise reads, when chat gets roasted by Agni. I don't know. Well, you love when chat gets roasted by Agni. I don't even know if I'm roasting anyone. Apparently, like sometimes I roast, and it's just how it goes, right? It's just how it goes. It's like not a conscious thing, you know. And then sometimes, you know, it is like a conscious thing. But like the main thing is, I love all of you, right? And that at the end of the fucking day, it doesn't matter. None of the other ego shit matters. If you have unconditional love for every human being on the planet, regardless of what actions that they have committed in their life, or regardless of what beliefs they hold, if you still feel unconditional love with them in the most foundational level of their being, that place in them that is pure love, where their essence is pure love and where your essence is pure love, if you can connect with their love, then you are doing then nothing else, the rest of the ego doesn't matter. None of the other thing, all the other problems of life disappear, because you have now done the most important thing you can do, which is truly connect with a person in a place of truth. So do that, and then you're just gonna have a good existence. That's just the way it goes. But when you're inauthentic to yourself, and authenticity is something super important. That was brought into being into question a lot by the French existentialists in the 50s and 60s. You know, Sartre and Camus and that whole crew. You know, that whole crew. They basically were like, hey, we need to live authentic lives. We can't be hiding under the covers. You know, we need to like be out expressing ourselves and live true to our nature. We need to make sure our values, our foundational values, align with our actions. And this is something that a lot of like positive psychology and psychologists do nowadays, right? They're really big into value-oriented approaches of learning, right? And expressing oneself, such that, because if you, like, let's say you believe that X is wrong, right? It's like, okay, I think that it's not good to do X, right? Whatever X is, right? And then you go ahead and do X. There's going to be some conflict there. There's going to be some tension, cognitive dissonance, you could say, right? That's going to erupt in that kind of situation. But if you believe in X and you do X, then your value, which is going to align with your actions. And once your values align with your actions, then all of a sudden, you know, your whole life comes into a more positive a way of being. You just become more positive. You feel better. You feel happier about yourself, and it's just a better way of existing. All right, I'm missing a ton of shit here in chat. What do we got going? And I call it shit, but I mean it's like good, you know, good shit, right? Obviously. Let's see. JT Farms, you're saying, nah, I do not need an audience. My ego needs to stay in check. What, you don't want to stream? You don't want to stream your poetry because you don't want the audience out there? I don't know. But I mean, you know what? Listen. Hey, be you. Listen to yourself. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see you out here streaming one day. That would be pretty awesome. Maybe we could do like a joint stream or something, and you could read like half your poem, and I could read the other, or we could do like a collab or something, right? And figure it out. Replying to a balance, stay in the cult. Oh, it's awesome. By the way, I have a friend. I had a friend that was in a cult for a while. It was a pretty crazy experience for her. All right, where are we at here? Shout outs all over the place. I don't even know who's a streamer anymore. Like I don't even know if shout outs are even going out. Like maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Sunrise, you say it's a nice uncomfortable growth. Imbalance is lurking. All right, thanks for the lurk, brother. Appreciate it. Sunrise, we love you for who you are. For you are Agni. Oh, well, thank you so much. Super kind of you, Sunrise. And you know what? You know, we love you for your Sunrise, right? For without the Sunrise, what do you have? I mean, what do we got here without Sunrise? I mean, we got a pretty dark world. We need that light. We need that love and light into our world. You know, and I'll be a little poetic here. I can go off on a poetic tangent every now and then and talk about it, but yeah, we definitely need that love and light. Imbalance, to say, I'm just going to take it out of my workouts. Again, I'll still be here. You know, that's one way to do it, right? You know, to work through it, to pump through, and to you know, get a good workout in, and to release some of that energy, you know, and then once you do that, come back and do some meditation with us, you know. Sunrise, don't do X. JT Farms, you're going to be you. Yeah, and you should be you, right? And don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't ever let anyone say you shouldn't be you. You know, when someone says, oh, you should do this or you should do that, it's like that is literally one of the things that like drives me fucking irate, man. When someone says you should do this, it's like who the fuck are they to tell me what I should or shouldn't do? Right? Who the fuck are they? Think about what kind of arrogant asshole is going to say you should do this, right? That's crazy. It's crazy talk. I mean, if you're like a 5-year-old kid and it's your parent, yeah, obviously, right? But if you're like a grown adult and someone's like telling you should do this, You know, you should. It's like, how do they know? How do they know what you should be doing? And then you look at their lives, and 99.9% of the time, they don't even know what the fuck they should be doing, and they're doing wrong things left and right all over the place. And for them to think that they know you better than you know yourself, and that they can actually, like, you know, impart this great wisdom of what you should be doing, and say you need to do this, it's like, that's fucking bullshit. Those people, man, there's something. Those people really need to reevaluate how they perceive reality, because they got something wrong with them, man. If they think they really know what you should be doing, it's like, wow, that's a major thing, right? All right, where are we at here in the chat? Sunrise, yeah, you want to hear JT Farms's poetry? Yeah, you know what? I want to hear it here too on the stream. I've read a lot of her poetry in the past. I've heard her do poetry readings on Facebook in the past, and it's incredible. So she comes in here and she's like, you know, this such a positive light, right? Just shining beauty, right? And radiating love and glowing everywhere, right? And every single person, you know, loves JT Farms. When they come into her with their channels, you know, it's like everyone's like happy immediately, is immediately like happy to see her, you know, in their stream, right? And her poetry is so dark and like intense and deep, and it's crazy, because you would never expect it. You would never expect it from how she is in here, you know. But my poetry is really dark and deep too. And I guess I mean with me you could probably expect a little bit more, you know. But with her poetry, it's just wild, man. It's wild. Like her imagery, the imagery that she comes up with in her poems. I mean, it just blows your fucking mind. It's that good. I mean, you're just like, wow, I just went down a rabbit hole, and like I got to rethink like reality for the next 6 months. And then she comes in here like all flowery, you know. She's like all like oh, you know, let's you know, play with some flowers and like and you know, just you know, be super positive all the time. It's like the ultimate like dichotomy, you know. It's the ultimate contrast. I love that. I love good contrasts between things. Like when you have something that's so beautiful and wonderful, and then you have something that's so like hideous, you know, and they just but they're in the same like space, you know, they're occupying the same space. It's kind of a neat thing, right? Some of the best directors, you know, you'll see that all the time in their movies, right? They'll be able to have this amazing contrast between the light and the dark, right? And just like all in the same scene. One of my favorite directors is David Lynch, and he's the master at it. That's like his thing, you know. He's great. First of all, he's great at creating like some of the most bizarre, you know, parallel worlds that you're ever gonna, you know, experience and see. And like creating these realities where everything's just a little bit off, but like, you know, everything's like really fucking far off. But he's also really good at contrasts, and he's also good at segues and like transitions into different scenes. Definitely check out some David Lynch if you get a chance. But be warned, it's going to be, a lot of his stuff is really violent. It's really violent stuff, but it's deep and it's philosophical. So that's right up my alley, you know. And JT Farms is the same way, you know. She's dark, and then she's also full of love and light, you know. So it's cool. Sunrise, what's my star sign? I don't know enough about that stuff. I mean like Libra. Like I'm a Libra. That's like my whatever. I am so ignorant of that world. It's funny too, because like a lot of my friends are like so big into like the astrological, you know, astrology and like that scene, right? But I don't know anything about it. I just go to the events and like hang out while they tell me cool things about myself, and I'm like, you know, just, you know, I'm like, you know, hanging out and having fun and just, you know, partying with everyone basically. And they're the ones with the knowledge. But like, yeah, I'm a Libra. I don't know anything about like the, you know, Gemini rising or the rising or the falling or any of that stuff, but that's where I'm at. So all right, where are we at here? Where are we at? We got some good cray. Humans will be humans. Relax sounds delicious. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff here. LL Joy, the dark goddess. The dark goddess. She kind of is like that. And Sunrise, you just keep giving her shout outs. It's so funny. I love it. Redeemed highlight message. Imbalance. You say your mentality is an ongoing battle. You're an inmate trapped in your own mind as a prisoner looking for a way out to find yourself once again. Okay, dude, now I get that to a certain level. Obviously, I don't know the full extent of how you feel, but I will say this. First of all, you have a purpose, and you help a lot of people here in the Twitch community, in the fitness and health community. You're an awesome person, John, and we all love you. We all absolutely love you. We enjoy your company, and you talk about things that are super important. So you are doing amazing work, and you're helping out a lot of people, and your life is meaningful. All right. Okay. B, you feel like an inmate trapped in your own mind, right? Meditation is something that can help with that, right? It helps some people. Some people, to be perfectly honest, because I'm going to be perfectly honest, some people it doesn't help, right? Yoga. I don't know if you've ever done like Grace's yoga, or like yoga with Jen's yoga, or Evelyn's yoga. There's a ton. Yoga Hana. There's a ton of great yoga streamers on Twitch. And yoga is also something. Or qigong. From Kitten's Kung Fu and Mel's Camp. Those things can definitely help you balance yourself and like free your mind from being a prisoner, right? And I definitely have to know more about it. I would have to know more about, what actually is going on to like probably give better advice, or maybe my advice would just suck regardless, right? Because I don't want to be that guy. Remember earlier how I was saying like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I was like saying how that's like the most obnoxious, person in the world to come into contact with, someone who thinks they actually know what you should be doing, better than yourself. Right? I don't want to be that guy with you, right? I don't want to be that guy that's saying, oh, well, you should do this, you should do meditation, you should do yoga, you should do qigong, right? You should do the internal energy arts, right? I'm not going to be that guy. What I will do is I'll offer recommendations of things that have helped me and things that have helped people I know. I'll say, what? Something that's kind of cool that I've heard that's helped people is meditation, or is yoga, or is qigong, right? Or is journaling, or is doing poetry or artwork, right? And so I'll offer suggestions, but I would never say, you should be doing this kind of thing. When I feel trapped in my own mind, and looking for a way to free myself, it's because I feel like I'm overthinking, like personally, like that's what I'm doing. I'm overthinking and overanalyzing everything. What do I do for a living? I'm a chess player. I'm a chess instructor. I play competitive chess, and I teach others the game, right? So my mind is constantly calculating. I'm constantly having to think about the different variations and the different things, and that carries over from chess into the real world, into the world. Well, this illusory dualistic framework that most people call the real world, right? So that carries over. So I'm constantly thinking, right? And then so sometimes I find myself like thinking like 30 steps ahead of like how I'm going to walk in the other room and like position my body such that I'm going to grab the refrigerator handle in such a way that I will be opening the door while my body is moving a different way, and then it'll be the most efficient route to grab my morning coffee or something like that, right? And it's fucking crazy. It's crazy when I do that, right? And then I'll have a thought like, dude, I wasted time like calculating the most efficient route to just like walk in the kitchen, and grab something off the counter. Why is this even a thing, right? When I do that, when I start overthinking and overanalyzing, and like to that point, I always try to take a step back, and I try to see myself from up here, from like a third person objective perspective, and I'm like, what is this dumb human being doing now? This dumb human being is using his enlarged prefrontal cortex to try to think 30 steps ahead about how he's gonna grab a glass of orange juice or his morning cup of coffee from the kitchen, when he could be just going in and grabbing it instead, right? So I try to see myself from that third person objective perspective, notice how ridiculous I'm being, and then kind of just let it go. Now, can that always be done? Absolutely not. I'm nowhere near at that level where it can always be done. There are some yogis, there are some gurus, there have been spiritual masters that can do that shit nonstop, immediately, like the second they start having like any kind of bondage in their mind where they start feeling tied to the ego or tied to overthinking and feel like a prisoner in their own mind, they can just immediately let it go and it's gone. It's just nowhere to be found, right? And if I'm in a truly meditative state, yeah, I can do that, right? But it requires a ton of work and a ton of practice, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So that is my advice. That's my advice right there. All right, where are we at here? I have fallen well behind in chat again. This is my thing. I always fall behind in chat. All right. Sunrise, you said, love, you are not your mind. There is neurological plasticity. You can change the way your mind goes. Absolutely. You can rewrite the neural pathways. You can literally form new neural pathways in your mind based on how you think. How crazy is that, right? Literally, like they're like physiological pathways can tunnel in different directions. You can form new connections based on whether you think you have a positive outlook or a pessimistic outlook, or whether you're hopeful or whether you're distressed and dismayed. Like, I mean, there's all these like the mind is the brain is a lot more plastic than a lot of people realize. You need to control your mind and not let it control you. It's hard, but the more we try, the easier it gets. Sunrise, you are spot on. You are on point. You are absolutely right with that. That is so true. So true. Yeah, JT Farms, the Dark Goddess. Ooh, the dark. I just felt something. When I read that. I don't know though. She's my channel shaman though. Like she's a poet. She's my channel shaman. I mean, how many labels can she have? I mean, can she be the Dark Goddess and a channel shaman at the same time? I don't know. Well, maybe we'll have to do a poll. Sunrise, you say you're incredibly brave, vulnerable, and transformative for this community. Yes, Imbalanced is. Imbalanced definitely is. He has helped so many people. He's helped me. He's helped me at times. I mean, and I hear stories about him helping other people, and he's just such a nice human being. We need the nice human beings in this world. This is exactly what we need: kind, loving, compassionate dudes and women that want to help people out and that are just good, authentic people. And that's why Imbalance is great. Yeah, definitely go check out a stream whenever you get a chance. And you're an incredible model, Imbalanced Physique. Yep. Where would the ladies go without you around? Agni barely does shirtless streams. It's true. I've only done my shirtless streams twice ever, right? We need Imbalanced. I need Imbalanced Physique because he picks up the slack. Here's a secret. All right, here's an old trade secret. If I can just have him doing the shirtless streams, that gets me off the hook, right? John, you're getting me off the hook because then someone's talking about shirtless streams. I'm like, oh, just go check out Imbalanced. You'll see a shirtless stream over there, and that kind of like pacifies everyone, right? Then I don't have to actually do the shirtless stream again. So yeah, I need you, man. I need you. Okay. Sunrise reads, you say, the real world, this Lala dualistic frame that we call the real world. Yeah, right? Exactly. But it's so the case, right? It's according to my metaphysics, right? But it makes sense from a philosophical standpoint as well. If you go in, if you really think about it, like what makes more sense? To have one thing, right? Or to have infinite things like in every directions that are constantly shifting and changing form, and it's a messy metaphysics that doesn't we got to go with Occam's razor, right? Occam's razor. When you have two equally plausible explanations of things, you go with the simpler one, right? And oneness, monism, is the simplest thing ever, and plus it's a unifying force. Think about the utility involved in monism. Monism is basically saying the media is trying to split you apart, it's trying to divide you, it's trying to rip you apart, right? That's dualism, right? Monism saying we need to all let go of our perceptions of other people, and by declaring other people as the enemy, and all this craziness, right? We need to let go of all that. And we need to love them. We need to actually feel love for those people that we thought were our enemies, because there is no enemy. There is no enemy. And I said this yesterday. Jerry Fodor, great mind, philosophy of mind, one of the best philosophy of mind professors in the world, actually, and has written tons about the subject, said the enemy, the true enemy, lies within the gates. Within the gates, within one's own gates, right? The enemy exists already in our mind. That's what we need to cleanse. That's what we need to look through. We need to go into meditation. We need to go into yoga. We need to go into we use qigong as tools to explore where we're at, explore what's going on with our consciousness, and see what's going on. What's the issue that we're dealing with? Because what happens is, this is the most standard content that has been regurgitated over and over and over since the beginning of human history, right? Basically, people are like, oh, I have this insecurity in me. So what am I going to do now with this insecurity? I don't want, I feel bad about this thing, right? I'm going to project it onto another human being. I'm going to take it and try to get it off me by putting it on someone else. Because they have the same fault or whatever, right? And by putting it on them, then I no longer have it. What bullshit! It's complete garbage. Yet, but people buy into this notion. It's the ego, one of the ego's ultimate notions. It's like it tries to convince you that you can just like make someone else feel bad by making someone else feel bad about an insecurity or an issue that you have that you're projecting on them, that you're disowning it, that you're giving it to them, that you're getting rid of it. And that's just not reality. That's not reality. The truth is, all you're doing is you're keeping it in the same spot, and you're actually reinforcing it because you're strengthening it within another person. And B, you're hurting another human being, someone you love anyway, someone you care about and should love unconditionally, right? Because they're your fellow human being, they're your fellow sister and brother on this planet. And we're all here together. We got to unite and be one. Right, so never try to project. If you can catch yourself, in that state where you're trying to project onto another, like step back, take a step back, see yourself from that objective perspective, and don't fall for that trap. Don't fall for that nonsense. All right, okay. Woo! Can I breathe? Can I breathe? Can I drink some water here? Give me a second. Oh shit, that water tasted good. I got to remember to breathe. If you ever see me not breathing for a long time, let me know, because sometimes I'm just this loquacious dude that just rambles on, and I speak my mind, I speak my authenticity, but but breath is important, right? I mean, Christ, I'm a meditation instructor. I should be teaching. I should be, living up to my own standards, right? All right, where are we at in chat? Where are we at here? I'm missing a lot of stuff. Okay, Sunrise, you got a clip here. Let's check out your clip. That carries over from chess into the real world, this illusory dualistic framework that most people call the real world, right? So that carries over. I want to stop it at that because I think that right there, that segment of the clip, basically sums it up all the way, right? It sums up my metaphysics so well that I believe that everything within dualism is an illusion. Because here's the thing. Go to the bigger picture. If you look at everything from the context of eternity, from the highest level, if you look down on like what exists, all space-time, all polarities, all opposites, right? If you're looking at things from eternity, it's not even coherent to say that there's two different things. It's not even a coherent thing, because there's only one present moment. There's only one place of love. There's only one place of oneness, that monistic state. You can't have two-ness from the context of eternity. Now, space-time is crazy. Space-time is simply, part of the ego's way of like controlling us and keeping us prisoner to this realm, right? By convincing us that we live in this dualistic state of this frame of reference, right? But what's actually going on is our third eye right here it's basically got smudged. It's like you're wearing glasses that have a smudge on them, and you're not seeing things clearly. That's what we're doing. We're not perceiving the world as it actually is. Like Kant would say, Kant would argue that we're not seeing things through the lens, through the framework of the noumenal realm, right? As things as they actually are in themselves. We're seeing things through basically our five senses, taking in information and then projecting that onto the world, right? And I know I say this quite frequently, but it's good because we need to reinforce this in our minds, right? I mean, we live in, and it's not like the Matrix. I'm not talking about like we're living in like the Matrix or anything like that. We're not like hooked up to any big machine or anything like that. We're just like, I mean, our natural state is just one essence, one being, and we're just kind of viewing ourselves as like, perceived separate parts from the whole. But the key word there is perceived, because in reality, in actuality, we never left the whole. We never left that state of pure oneness. We still are there. We are still one consciousness, one being, and our essence is pure love. But we, perceptually, we are viewing ourselves as if it's like an as if statement, as if we are separate, distinct entities that live in this world where everything's constantly in a state of utter flux and change, and everyone you know and love, throughout your entire life is going to be dead one day, and this depressing, place where everything decays and whatnot, right? That's not reality. I mean, that's how we perceive reality, but it's not actual capital T objective truth reality. All right, got to get back to chat. Where are we at here? Most people have a cute giggle. All right, I agree with that. There's some cute giggles. I mean, I don't know. Have I ever shown you my cute giggle? I have the cutest giggle, right? That I remember I used to be a child actor. Of course I have to have a good giggle. It comes with the territory, right? You know, if you're a child actor, you need that kind of stuff. Um, and balance, you say every day you do, you'll talk about it tomorrow. There's a reason behind it. All right, well, whatever, you know, it's good. It's good to talk about. I know you'll talk about it because you're an open, honest person. You just tell everyone it's Cam effects. All right, cool. Now it's John effects. All right, I got see that this is an interesting moment because I just got lost in the context. I got left up, but that's okay because as the streamer, you don't need to be clued into every little like happening and going on between the people in the chat, right? You just got to kind of like be like the pretty face. I got to be the pretty face, on the screen, right? It's not working out well for me so far, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best to be the pretty face out here. All right. We got a clip from Sunrise. Let's see what we got here.
Divide is trying to rip you apart, right? That's dualism, right? And monism saying we need to all let go of our perceptions of other people and by declaring other people as the enemy and all this craziness, right? We need to let go of all that and we need to love them. We need to actually feel love.
Yeah, we need to feel love for our enemies, right? For the people that we consider enemies. Who does that, right? I mean, how often do you see people engaged in a political debate and someone's like, I feel nothing but unconditional love for you. But I do, I do think all your views about politics are totally insane. But I feel the most utmost love and compassion for your well-being, and I just want to give you a hug so bad, right? Like, how often does that happen in politics? I would love to see that on the news. Like, fuck the news, right? Think about what the news does. You got people like heated up, red in the face, arguing, yelling at each other, right? I mean, Christ, their face is almost as red as mine gets sometimes when I'm like getting hyped up, right? And you got them yelling at each other. But imagine if they communicated like that. If like you had two people on complete opposite ends of the political spectrum that were like, I just want to hug you. I love you so much. I feel so much unconditional love for you. I think when you did say point A, I think I want to raise a bit of an objection if that's okay. Is that all right with you? And then can you imagine if they just communicated like that on like the nightly news or like like wow, that would be so. I would watch that. Now that would be the news that I would watch. Where everyone just gets up and hugs each other after like the heated debate too, and like it's just pure love and kindness being spread around by people who have totally different belief sets. I mean, that would be so fucking cool. Right? That's the kind of news we need. I mean, because you need to be able to show people that just because they have different beliefs than you doesn't mean you can't feel absolute love and compassion for them. That's so important. It's so fundamental because think about what that is saying. It's saying that you are eternal love, that is your foundational essence, and you believe that they are eternal love and that is their foundational essence, and that this whole thing of consciousness is just basically a sham. It's just a sham to try to keep you to ego consciousness, to try to keep you distracted from the truth that you're love and they're love and that you're one and the same. And it's like anything that tries to rip you apart and shred you apart like that, don't buy into that system. But anything that unifies, something that brings you together, that's where you want to be. That's what you want to buy into. Rilek, you say Qigong too, very well-rounded egg. Well, Qigong's how I got my start. I mean, well, okay, meditation was how I got my start, but I did Qigong before I did yoga, actually. What happened was I was having all this back pain when I was younger. I was having all this back pain, and a buddy of mine was like, hey, I got this book on something called Qigong. Here you go. Let me lend it to you, right? And I was like, cool, I'll check it out, right? I'm open to things, right? So I got this book on Qigong, and I started doing just a few postures. That was it. Just a few of the Qigong moves. I was doing lifting the sky, which is one where you stand and your hands are like this and you kind of push up, right? And I was doing carrying the moon, which is one like this where you're like you can see the moon basically through your hands like this, right? I was just doing a couple Qigong poses. Instantaneously, all of my back pain went away. It was a fucking miracle. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, I've been up to all these doctors, physical therapists. Western medicine has failed me. Like, is there anything that can help me? I started doing a few Qigong poses and all my back pain's gone, right? It was crazy. So then I stopped doing it because I, got lazy and lost motivation. And then guess what? All my back pain came back. So then I started doing it again, and then I've just been doing it ever since. Now I've toned it down to do just the essentials. but I'm more into yoga. That yoga kind of fills that purpose. But qigong is definitely close to my heart. I used to work at a school for special needs kids. I taught there, and I would teach qigong to my classroom, to the students and the aides in the classroom. Right? I teach them because it's an important internal energy art. Right? With qigong, you can feel that love and that energy. Right? All right. Where are we at here? Where are we at here? We're at all sorts of stuff. I don't know. In balance, you say, okay, Agni, you'll do shirtless streams to get you off the hook. Ladies, don't touch your screens and assume you're touching Moopy body. Breathe or I'll breathe for you, damn it. Okay, Sunrise, you have a couple redemptions. All right, I'm on it. I know it takes me a while. Hydrate. First one. Hey, it's fitness yoga. That is otherwise known as Swiss R is here. Let me give him a shout out. My automatic shout outs don't work anymore because God hates me, I guess. Check out Swiss R. Check out Swiss R's stream. And by the way, I was being facetious about that last comment. You know, those of you who know me, you're gonna get it. Those of you who just wandered into the chat, like you might not get it, right? I like to joke around in here a lot. But yeah, Swiss R. But one thing I will not joke around about is the ability of Swiss R to be a kick-ass streamer here on Twitch and just an awesome human being in the Twitch community. So positive, so kind. The guy never sleeps, dances all night, and then gets up to stream beautiful landscapes in Switzerland at like 6 in the morning. The dude's amazing. He's just a totally awesome human being. Check out his streams whenever you get the chance. Okay, I did the hydrate. I got to redeem stretch. Got to redeem the stretch. And by the way, check out this band, Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. All right, they're an incredible avant-garde metal band that I really like. And I'm just going to do a little bit of stretching. Because my body needs it. I can just kind of feel the energy flow. You can kind of feel it once you do qigong and yoga a long time. It's like you just feel that. You can feel that energy flowing through you. You can feel that vibe, right? So yeah, I will do maybe 1 or 2 stretch redemptions per time per stream, right? I'm never gonna do like 30 in a row, right? Sunrise was trying to get me on that one day. She had like 7 stretch redemptions in a row. It's like I can't handle that. I mean, if I'm gonna be doing that, I might as well just be doing a whole yoga class, right? Sunrise, you're saying yes, shaman, make Agni voodoo doll breathe. I guess I have to be breathing, right? At the end of the day, I have to be breathing because otherwise I'd be dead. And this is a great story. I once met a guy who literally fucking claimed that he went 2 years without breathing. Like, dude, I can give you the science behind why that is such bullshit. I can give you a common sense explanation, but the dude would not back down. He said he went 2 years without taking a single breath. So it's like I have, it's ridiculous. What happens when you don't breathe, by the way, a lot of people think, okay, if I ask the chat right now, what happens if you don't breathe? People are going to say, oh, you're going to die of lack of oxygen. Well, guess what? That's not the case. This is kind of interesting. Most people don't know this. This is the fun fact of the day. If you don't breathe, you're not dying from lack of oxygen. What you're actually dying from is carbon dioxide building up in your system and poisoning you. That's what you actually die from it. But because oxygen and carbon dioxide and the flow of both, are so interwoven and connected. People always just say you don't get enough oxygen. But the real reason you would die would be because you're not getting rid of all that carbon dioxide. You're not expelling that. Carbon dioxide is poisonous if you have too much in your system, and that's what kills you. Fun fact of the day. All right. Posture check. All right. How's my posture? I think my posture's good. Like my head is pretty even with the Amitabha Buddha back there, right? You got to have the Amitabha Buddha in the background. Like the Amitabha, no one gets pissed at Buddhists, really. For the most part, well, there was that whole thing with Tibet. All right, maybe I shouldn't be joking around about that. But for the most part, how can you get pissed off at a monk, right? I can see how you can get pissed off at a politician. I can see how you can get pissed off at the neighbor who never cuts their grass and throws their trash in your yard or something. But how do you get pissed off at a humble Buddhist monk, right? It's just that just blows my mind, right? But I guess you can. I guess people can. All right, where are we at here? Sunrise, you're saying you're terrible at jokes. Maybe you're the dark joker. You know what the funny thing is, Sunrise? How interesting, right? Okay, because you know how like every story needs like a cool plot twist, right? How crazy would it be if you this whole time you were just like fucking with everyone and you're just like this like evil demonic presence and no one would even like would ever suspect it because you're like the most like the kinding loving like human being on the planet. That would be such an awesome plot twist, if you're just like this like demonic like evil force. And then everyone puts their guard down and then you just like take over the fucking world, right? That everyone watch, right? That Sunrise is basically going to be the metaphor for her like world domination tour. And it all started with Twitch. It all started with me buying into her vision. All right, where are we at here? I'm sorry if I miss some stuff in chat. It happens. Um, you never knew it was philosophy, monistics. Oh, monistics. Monistics. All right, I see what I get the pun now. All right, it's like the whole world has just come around full circle. I'm now in the loop. I get what's going on. All right, all right. Good to know. Where are we at here? Uh, okay, Imbalance, you're lurking. Cool. Thank you for the lurk, brother. Appreciate it. All right, we got another clip here from Sunrise. Let's check it out. Let's
Yeah,
hear.
most people have a cute giggle. All right, I agree with that. There's some cute giggles. I mean, I don't know. Have I ever shown you my cute giggle? I have the cutest giggle, right? I remember I used to be a child actor. Of course, I have to have a good giggle. It comes with the territory, right?
It's true though. If you're a child actor and you don't have a cute giggle, you have like major like obstacles to overcome. Like you better be like incredible in so many other ways if you don't have a cute giggle. Like the cute giggle, never underestimate the power of a cute giggle. Like that thing, like a cute giggle is like more powerful than a fucking sword. It's the pen is mightier than a sword, but the cute giggle is mightier than the pen. So never underestimate the power of a cute giggle, and that's something that we need to keep in mind. Real like you say, interesting, Agni. Anything mainstream my acting from? The one big job that I almost got as a child actor was the Adams Family Values Relect. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but there was a young kid named Pugsley in that movie. And I got through the first audition. I got called into the second audition. I made it through the second audition. And then I got to the third audition, and it was me and three other kids. Me and three other kids. And that's who they were going to choose for that role. And one of the other kids got it. I mean, if I had gotten it, I would have been, a millionaire. I would have been in the Adams Family. The sequel they made of that. That was like my big job that I almost got. Other than that, there was smaller stuff. Like for instance, I was telling everyone yesterday, I was in my Houghton Mifflin. There's like a textbook manufacturer, that makes like just grade school textbooks. And I was like in there. They hired me for a gig. So like I've had like some small stuff, but then like I almost had that one breakthrough one, and then I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna like give up every day after school by going to auditions to like for these parts that I'm not getting to like I'd rather just hang out with my friends and play sports. That was my thing. I wanted to just do stuff as a friend. JT Farms, you say you are not an object. Don't be pretty, Agni. You're right. I am not an object, and I think we had this poll yesterday, right? We had this poll yesterday, and I think the voting was 100% unanimous that I am not an object. So like I know I was a child model and a child actor, but I was definitely not an object, and I still am not. So anyone who's got that in their mind, get rid of it. Get rid of it. All right, another clip. Let's see what we got here.
All right, this is an interesting moment because I just got lost in the context. I got left up, but that's okay because as the streamer, you don't need to be clued into every little happening and going on between
It's true.
between the people in the chat.
This guy knows what he's talking about, right?
The pretty face. I got to be the pretty face on the screen, right? It's not.
Yeah, I mean that's my role here. I'm not doing a great job, but I aspire to try to just be the pretty face, on the stream, right? And it all comes down to the chat. It all comes down to the chat at the end of the day, though. All right. Let's see, where are we at here? Sunrise, you say You're so right. Politics is hateful and not loving. Yeah. Why can't we have these people that are arguing across lines hug each other after the stream? I mean, I get it with COVID now, right? Everyone's like afraid to touch one another. People are like, oh, if you touch me, you're gonna like, we're all the world's gonna end. But which there could be some validity to that, right? If someone has a compromised immune system or whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know how it goes. Whichever side you're on, though, it's like, dude, hug each other afterwards, or like in the future, once all this COVID stuff has died down, then hug each other. And after you demolish the other person in an argument about politics, give them a big hug. Or after they demolish you, give them, say, you feel nothing but love for them, and give them a big hug, right? It's like, how amazing, right, would that news be? That would be best. That would be the best thing. Oh, you got a clip of it. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Political debate, and someone's like, I feel nothing but unconditional love for you. But I do think all your views about politics are totally insane. But I feel the utmost love and compassion for your well-being, and I just want to give you a hug so bad, right? Like, how often does that happen in politics? I would love to see that on the news.
Right, and that's exactly the situation, right? Why can't that happen? Why can't people have their debates but end on by expressing to the other individual how much love they feel for that person? Below the level of conscious awareness, how they connect with that love within them, that perfect love, and that is what what it is, right? Let's see. Hey, Sean Robert, good to have you. Good to have you here. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having abundance in your life. All right, where are we at here? Imbalanced. You said you were thinking about yourself as an object. That quote alone made me think, like, what am I proving to go shirtless in my streams for attention to gain more viewers, followers? No, which is why I'm thinking of not doing any shirtless streams indefinitely. Yeah, I mean, we're just having fun, I mean, I did my shirtless streams twice, right? And it's like, initially I was pretty turned off to the idea too. I was like, dude, this is kind of weird, like I'm doing a shirtless stream, but at the same time, it's kind of funny, right? It's kind of funny, it's like, especially for someone running a guided meditation, to do like a shirtless guided meditation. And you gotta keep the crowd happy. You gotta be a crowd pleaser every now and then. Let's see. Sunrise, you said you were doing Fula Dafa, but then COVID came and there were no more classes. It was incredibly helpful. You learn in partners. The whole guidance to it is online. Ooh, Fula Dafa. I don't know anything about that. Let me write that down. I've never even heard the word. Like, usually when someone says something that I don't know anything about, I've at least heard the word before. I don't know anything about Fula Dafa. Whatever it is, I like it. I like the sound of it. It's got a good sound. All right, Swiss, what is up, my friend? All right, wow, I'm so far behind. We're just, okay, posture check. We're gonna wake up and fly through some stuff. You just woke up to defend your cats in a fight with other cats, and then check out if you stream. Your cats were brawling? You got some intense brawler cats? Wow, it sounds like you got some Chicago style cats. Chicago style. That's how we do it. Yeah, cats are intense, right? Like, when a cat gets pissed off, like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful as fuck. I have a friend that owns a pet grooming business, right? And they used to do dogs and cats. It was like no big deal, right? But some of the cats that they got were so fucking crazy and so insane that he said, fuck it, I'm not doing cats anymore. We're just doing dogs. And because cats can, they're descendants of lions, right? People forget that, right? The cats literally come from fucking lions and tigers, right? These are like vicious, animals. They have that in their core, and it's like, typically they're all cuddly and playful, but if you fuck with a cat at the wrong moment, like, it can get crazy. It can get crazy when you see these big cat fights out there. You're gonna head out. I need to think for a while. Your energy is getting way far off in balance. Well, I hope you feel more calm and peace soon. I'll tell you what. Let's dedicate this meditation that we're going to do to you, Imbalanced. John, we are going to dedicate this meditation to you, and we'll send you love and light when we do this meditation, because you deserve it. You deserve it, brother. You deserve it. Yeah, come back when the meditation is on and try to stay incredibly helpful. Oh, that was so nice, Sunrise Reads, and you're to John and to me. Thank you. All right. Wow, I'm so far behind. I guess got to skip some stuff. All right, Sunrise, you say you like to try to be kindness as much as you can, but I guess you do have your dark sides too. Just try to bring light to them as much as I can. And I get that. I get that because I'm the same way, right? Like, I'll come out here, and like, even if I feel like garbage, I try to bring positivity and light to the world. because that's something that I can do, right? If I can at least make someone feel a little bit more positive and loving and kind, then yeah, it's like that. Then I feel like I'm doing my purpose, right? I'm helping another human being. I'm helping at least someone along the way, because life's tough, I mean, anyone who says it's not is full of shit, right? Life is hard. Life is really hard. I mean, think about all the things that we have to go through within this illusory dualistic framework, right? Like it's crazy, right? When our perceptual lens is all messed up like that. All right, where are we at here? It's really like you say, Adam's Family, very nice. Yeah, that was my one claim to fame. I almost got it. It came, me and three other kids. I was almost in that movie though. We have, let's see, Sunrise. You say, oh my God, it'd be amazing if you were in the Adams Family. Yeah, you definitely watch party watch that. Yeah, right. That would have been awesome, right? That would have been so cool. I would have loved to be in that too. That it would have made my career, right? It could have at least. I mean, I would have at least been in two blockbuster hits, right? I mean, that's pretty neat, right? That would be kind of neat. All right, let's see. Let's check out one more clip from Sunrise.
You are not an object. Don't be pretty, Agni. You're right. I'm not an object. And I think we had this poll yesterday, right? We had this poll yesterday, and I think the voting was 100% unanimous that I am not an object.
Yeah, I am not an object. So please do not treat me like I'm an object. That's what I tell everyone. That's what I tell everyone. I'm the sensitive model type. Like think about it. If your first job is a child is a model actor, like think about what that does to your head. Think about how you perceive reality. That changes you, right? It's like it's life. Life takes on a whole different approach. I mean, you get serious real quick, right? When all of a sudden you're like in third grade and you're working. It's like gotta pay the bills. I'm in third grade. All right, where are we at? We like to say, I'll give that a try next time the paramilitary pays a visit. Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would never say don't defend yourself, right? And this is where the subtle murky waters come into play. And this is where I draw a distinction that is very, very important. This is the most salient distinction that I draw pretty much, anywhere when I express this idea, right? And that is, if someone comes at with you to like attack you, you defend yourself. You do whatever is necessary to defend yourself. I'm talking you knock the person to the ground, you restrain them, if they're coming at you with a gun and you have a gun, you defend yourself in any way, shape or form you need to, right? And so if someone has done some major atrocities in the world, that person should be locked up. Absolutely, they should be held. Their culpability is a thing. They should be held responsible for their actions, right? But remember, these are all actions. These are all actions, right? Now there's a very distinct subtle line between actions and feelings. Now, so this is what I'm drawing. You have the feeling component here, and you have the action component here. So you have the person that's coming to do harm, right? You defend yourself. And that might involve hurting them in the process, hurting their physical body, right? You defend yourself, absolutely, right? But at the same time, you feel love for that person while they're attacking you. Let me give you an example, because some of you are thinking like this is impossible. One of my best friends is mentally ill. I had known the guy since I was 5 years old. He has schizophrenia, right? I'm chilling at his condo one day. His mom had to go out to work. We were younger at the time. We were like 20, and he was living with his mom, right? His mom had to go do the night shift, right? And so she went out on the night shift, and she wanted me to basically stay back with him and just make sure he was going to be okay. So I told her I would, right? Because this was one of my childhood buddies, right? So, I'm chilling. Everything's going all right. He's acting kind of weird because, that's how he was, and he wasn't taking his medication at the time. So it was a weird time, right? But for the most part, I just focused on keeping things positive, right? So we're just chilling. Everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I'm going to go out on the balcony and smoke a cigarette. And I'm like, cool, whatever. So he goes to the balcony and he tries to open the sliding glass door. And the fucking thing is jammed and it's not opening, right? And he can't get it open. And then he turns to me. And he starts ranting, you did this. You purposely broke my sliding glass door. Obviously, that's bullshit. I didn't even touch the sliding glass door the entire time I was there. But in his mind, he thought that I did it. He thought that I somehow went over there and like tampered with the locking mechanism such that it would break his sliding glass door, such that it wouldn't open, so that he couldn't go out and smoke a cigarette. That's what was going on in his mind, right? So he comes up to me and he smacks me in the head like that. Oh, it was an open palm slap, but he slapped me and it was pretty hard, right? And I was like, immediately the fight or flight in me, got really intense, right? Got really intense. I was like, I was feeling it, right? I was feeling it. I was feeling that, like, that anger, that intensity, right? But I calmed myself and I was like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that, man. I did, and then I started explaining to him. I'm like, look, I didn't mess with your, and he hits me again like that. All right. This dude is huge. All right, this dude is 300 pounds. I mean, he's not shredded or cut, but he's still a 300-pound, strong dude basically, right? So it's like and my fight or flight's going again now. So I'm saying, dude, if you hit me again, if you slap me again in the head, if you touch me again, I will defend myself. And this is what I told him. I looked in the eye and I told him this, right? And he fucking did it again. And I took the dude and I just fucking threw him to the ground, jumped on top of him, pinned him up against the wall, held his arms, wrapped my legs around his legs so he was completely pinned against the wall, right? And you know what I did then? He was struggling for a while, right? But he didn't have good stamina, right? So after a while, I kind of tired him out. I tired him out after a while, right? But I care about this person. I love this person. He's been one of my best friends since I was 5. He has schizophrenia. It's like it's like he can't control it. He's doing the best he can, right? So I restrained the dude, and I knew at that moment the best move was for me to express to him how I truly felt. So I started crying. While I was keeping him restrained, I started crying on purpose. I started crying, and then he recognized, and I was saying, dude, why are you making me do this? Why are you making me restrain you, brother? I don't want to do this, man. Please stop fighting with me, man. I want to be cool with you, man. You're my brother. I consider you my brother. I didn't mess with anything. And I was crying. He could see tears. And when he saw the tear response coming out of my eyes, and when he heard me telling him that I loved him, he stopped struggling. He stopped struggling. And I said, okay, I'm going to let you up now. I'm going to let you up now. Do you promise you're not going to attack me again? And he said yes. And I let him up, and then he walked off for a bit, and then he came back, and then everything was fine. So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. When the enemy comes at you, you defend yourself in whatever way, shape, or form is necessary, right? But at the same time, you can still feel love for them. Right? And is it easy to do? Absolutely not. It is the hardest thing probably that one can ask of another human being, to defend themselves and while someone's attacking them, and then still feel love and compassion for that person. So that's where I'm going with that. That's the distinction that I try to make, that most people can't grasp or have a hard time or don't want to hear it. You can dig that. All right, cool. So you're understanding what I'm saying, but it's a very subtle distinction, because I would never tell someone not to defend themselves. All right, where are we at here? Okay, all right. We are now at Fuladafa is from China and is also known as Fulangong. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, it's on my list. I'm going to check it out. I'm definitely going to check it out. So that'll be something that we go into. All right. It's super peaceful. It has a bad rap, that Fuladafa. It has a, well, I'll have to check out both sides, right? And I'm always willing to explore something, right? If something has a bad rap, or it's just people don't like it for some reason, and then there's other side that like loves it, I'll check it out. I'll see what it's about, and then I'll make my own decision, right? It's super peaceful. Oh my God, you are a liberal. I knew it. JK. Libra. I just said liberal. Liberal. Like, I don't even know what the hell I am. But Libras, they always want justice. and have to have a need to be balanced. Yeah, I strive for balance. I knew that they had the balance component in it, right? That there's something about Libras with balance, and I like order and I like structure and balance. Even though like I come out here and I seem so chaotic and whatnot, you know. Um, yeah, really, like you're saying you would love to hear some of JT Farms' poetry, dude. So would I, man. Everyone, there's a big audience for you out here, JT Farms. Everyone's been on you today about reading some poetry, man. Send a link later. Cool, cool. But don't let Agni's hype of it influence you. You ain't that good. Bullshit, bullshit. She's always downplaying. JT Farms is always downplaying how good she is. Her poetry is incredible, dark and deep and wild. It's great. All right, where are we go at? Where are we at? Okay, I can't believe it. We're at the bottom of the chat. Has Agni drank his blue cup of water in the last 30 minutes? I have drank it. And by the way, my new water filtration system came. It's called Zero Water. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's like Brita, except it actually gets out the fluoride, and which turns out to have no health benefit whatsoever after the age of 2. It's good for your teeth until the age of 2, but then drinking it, consuming it after the age of 2, it does nothing for you. It actually is pernicious to your overall well-being and is a proven carcinogen. But that was a rant for yesterday. All right. Sunrise reads, JT Farms, the dark goddess. Yeah, right? Is she the dark goddess? This is still yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. Once you hear her poetry, you might think some interesting things about this JT Farms. You know, it's like, how does she have this intense depth? But she's my channel shaman. You know, she keeps it in order. Okay, I've made it to the end of the chat. That took a lot of doing. It took a lot of time, a lot of effort, but I finally backtracked. I don't like to leave any stone unturned. You know, if someone has something to say, I want to acknowledge it. I want to make them feel like they're worth everything in the universe. I want them to feel good about themselves. I want to I want to engage with people, right? That's like my thing, right? I want to be there for all of you. And so it's like I don't want to leave anyone, you know, anyone left in the dust, but it happens sometimes. It does happen. Real like you say, you understand that, Agni. Love and forgive your enemies, although it feels like a weakness most days. Totally, man. Totally. It's crazy. It's crazy how it is like that, right? Yeah. It's because society trains us and conditions us to make it feel like a weakness, right? But it's so important to love thy enemy, right? You know, it's like one of the most difficult things that you'll ever have to do in your life. But it's just, if you can do it even just once or twice or sometimes, it's like it has such a profound effect, and you're a difference maker. You can change things. You can change the way the world operates, and that's probably a good transition. Probably a good transition. JT Farms, you say, no poll for me, LL. This is Agni's show. All right. I think we're ready. I think we're ready for meditation. Oh no, hold on. Is JT Farms? Oh, this is great. Is JT Farms the dark goddess? I don't know. Let's see if it'll let me vote. Last time it did not let me vote because. All right. For some reason this time it did let me vote. I don't know. I'm not gonna say what I put in there. Even though there's only one vote. I think there's only one vote, and I just told you I voted. I'm not gonna give away my opinion. I don't know. I mean, within the dualistic framework, anything's possible, right? Within this illusory dualistic framework, anything's possible, right? Oh, there's 2 votes for it. Ooh, all right. It's starting to build up. JT Farms. I don't know. I mean, this is getting serious. This is getting serious, JT. Like your shamanic energies, like you gotta watch it with that shamanic power. All right, great. Okay, I think we're ready for some meditation. So let's look at that. Look at that. Oh, wait, 50%. Hold on, the poll has ended. Oh, and only 50% say yes. Really? Really? I am surprised. I am surprised. Wait. But 38% said what? Like 38% was like what? And only one person said no. All right, so this is still a matter. This is still a matter of debate, but it looks like the yeses might have this. JT Farms, we gotta watch. I gotta keep my eye on you. But this is funny because earlier I was saying Sunrise might be that demonic force just playing us all, right? So now I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one of you two, maybe both of you, maybe you're working in cahoots. Like what's going on here? Maybe we'll need to run another poll. But right now, currently, the poll states that JT Farms is the dark goddess. So I don't know, JT Farms, you better. Yeah, I see why you want. I see why you want to go Zen time now, right? I see why you want to go Zen time. You're like this crew is too much. You're thinking you're all smooth because and away from everyone because you're just farther away, just hanging out doing your thing. Think you can escape us, but apparently, majority rules. Majority rules. Sunrise, you'll admit it. You'll admit it if you are the demonic force. Okay, if you are, so then you'll be an authentic demonic force. Well, that's cool. Oh, by the way, something kind of interesting. I'm reading this a neat book on. It's called The History of the Devil, or History of the Devil. I think it's called. I think that's called it, or The History of the Devil. One of the two. And I just found out the notion, the concept of the devil originated in Iran. That's kind of neat. Just like a fun fact to throw out there. That concept originated in Iran. Before Iran, like thousands and thousands of years ago, they didn't even have the concept of the devil. It wasn't even a thing. So that's kind of neat, right? It's just kind of something to think about. Okay, all right, let's do some meditation because there's a lot of people that are here that are here for the meditation and don't want to hear me talk, and they're just like, Agni, are you ready to shut up and tone the energy down? Slow down the vibration and come to a place of stillness and oneness. You can sit in lotus pose on the floor. You can sit cross-legged with your back against the wall if you prefer. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a seated position that is comfortable for you. And sit with good posture and gently close your eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths on your own. And I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds. And you can use that chime to help regulate your breath count. Take a few more deep breaths on your own while maintaining focus on your breath. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. And exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, gently raising your belly. And exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath counts. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Keep your awareness on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay focused on your breath. Visualize yourself sitting on a mountaintop, watching the clouds move beneath you. Two clouds merge into one, and one cloud divides into two. You watch as the clouds move through the sky and disappear over the horizon. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist in consciousness, and then disappear after a while. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. And return your awareness to your breath. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Focus on your breath. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Be present in the moment. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep your attention on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Those clouds are your thoughts, and in meditation we go beneath the level of thought to the place of pure love and oneness that exists at our core. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that does not serve you well. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. awaken the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until all of humanity is lit once again. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. And return your focus to your breath. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. And awaken the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. until all of humanity is glowing radiantly once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eyesight. Stay focused and determined to stay focused on your breath count. On your next inhale, travel down deep beneath the level of consciousness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the perfect love that emanates from that location. Feel the light, which is a manifestation of that love. Feel the warmth surrounding your heart. Feel the vibrations and the pulsating of that love. That love is your foundational essence. That love is you. When you choose to identify with that love, all the ego disappears. For you're choosing to identify with truth as opposed to fiction. When you go down deep to that source of love, the place of pure oneness and joy, you come to remember who you truly are. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eyesight. Stay focused on your breath. next inhale, travel down deep to that place of oneness, the place of pure love that exists in your heart chakra. Feel the energy that emanates from that location. Feel the warmth and light that stem from that love. Feel all the attributes of that love. And search for the center point of that love. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eyesight. Go back to the place of oneness within you. Travel back to that center point. Feel the love emanating from that center. And when you're ready, go on through. In that center point, you remember who you are. In the center, you remember how you came to be. In that center point, you remember what you are. In that center point, you remember your purpose. That center point is the source of all creation. That center point is the place of pure monism. what is eternally one can never be two. And in that center point, you remember your eternal oneness. In the center, you remember that you are divine. Take the deepest inhale of the day, raising your abdomen, and the deepest exhale of the day, lowering your abdomen. Breathe in the deepest inhale of the day, raising your belly. And breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me and participating in this meditation. I am truly honored and humbled to be here as your meditation guide and to share this sacred space with you. It means a lot to me that you came here to do the work and to go down deep within and see your true self and experience the love and light that exists within you. Thank you so much. I hope you all got a lot out of that meditation. How was that for everyone? How was that? Did anyone get anything out of that meditation? Does anyone feel a little bit more peaceful? I really hope so. I feel good. I feel better. I feel better after that meditation. You know me, I always come out super intensity, right? Super high intensity mode. And then, we calm it down and we do that meditation together. And we exist in that place of pure oneness, that place of pure love and light together. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Being together with everyone. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is included. That's a quote from my ex and one of my best friends. She says that everyone is welcome, and I agree. Everyone, because if you leave someone out, oh hey, Subi Blue, thank you so much for the 300 cheer. Thank you so much for the 300 bits. That's super kind of you. Wow, how are you, Subi? I take it you came in for the meditation. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got to experience it. Yeah, in my metaphysics and in my ex's metaphysics, everyone is welcome. We we invite everyone into our hearts because we feel that we're all one, and to exclude even a single person is just would go against what we foundationally believe. And I'm not saying, obviously, that we need to hang out with someone dangerous, right? I would never say that. But what I am saying is that we can feel love and compassion for those people in the world, even those people that are dangerous. We can still feel that feeling of love for them, and that's important because compassion is what is a unifying principle that unites the world. Subi, you say, always great to be in your channel. Love my positivity. Thank you so much, Subi. Thank you. It's always great to have you here. You're a positive force on Twitch. You're a wonderful human being, and I always see you in like all the best channels. You just first of all, the best channels, and then you're always in there, and everyone appreciates you and appreciates all that you do, and for the community, for the fitness and health community here. Um, and then let's see what else is going on. Oh, Moonhanu is here. Moonhanu, hello Moonhanu. My automatic shoutouts have not been working well lately, so definitely check out Moonhanu and Subi Blue, two amazing streamers. Um, I don't even know what's going on with these automatic shoutouts today. I think Streamlabs chatbot has been malfunctioning or something. But I've heard other streamers talking about weird stuff, weird glitches happening in the last few days. So maybe it's one of those. And Sunrise Reads, thank you so much for all that you do. You're a top-notch human being, a wonderful streamer here, and just a kind, compassionate person. And we decided that you are not the Dark Lord. Was it the Dark Goddess? And that JT Farms was that the final decision in the poll? To be honest, there's neither of you can be the Dark Goddess. Neither of you. A Sunrise. Oh, you don't think Moon is here? You just shouted her out. Oh yeah, it's totally cool. Spread the love. Moon Hani is a great yoga streamer here. JT Farms says she reigns supreme. Well, JT Farms, if you're reigning supreme, I might have to rein in some of that ego. So you better watch it. You better watch yourself, JT Farms. I'm just joking. I would never mess with the channel shaman. JT Farms keeps all the energy flowing smoothly in here. She does all the behind the scenes stuff, non-tech wise. I handle the tech stuff. I handle a lot of the other stuff. I do the streaming, but she's handling the energy. Subi Blue, you say Sunrise Reed. She is lurking next to you. Yeah, right. I mean, it's intense. It's intense. The people that could just be lurking in the distance or even right next to us. Right. We never know. Sunrise Reads, the dark goddess, and you are the dark joker. You're the dark joker. Oh. So JT Farms is the dark goddess, and you are the dark joker. Well, you're in good company because I'm a light worker, and I'm all about balance. So maybe I can kind of balance things out a little bit, right? It's so absurd to even consider you as the dark joker, Sunrise. It blows my mind. You who just exude positivity and kindness. It's funny, but I like it. I like it. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap things up. I think it's that time. I'm grateful to all of you that stopped by, and now is that moment where we get to give back to the community. We get to raid someone, and I am going to raid one of my good someone that I've come to really appreciate, and this is through Sunrise Reads actually. Sunrise Reads introduced me to Delta Crab, and Delta Crab is just a really cool, phenomenal musician out here on Twitch, and just a really nice guy. We're gonna give him a raid. So spread love and light to him when you show up in his chat, and I will see you all soon. I've been streaming a lot lately, so namaste.